Welcome, Royal Family. You're tuned into Healing Queens, the podcast, where the motivation is support and guidance for the growth of our queens. I am Emma E2K, your certified healing life coach. Thank you and welcome to episode 40. I can't even believe it. 40. This episode is sponsored by Healing Queens, Inc., One Stop Shop Services, Gem Transport Logistics, Scarcity, Chosen 813, and E2K Worldwide LLC. Thank you so much to our sponsors. Thank you to our new supporters. It's with the generosity of our listeners, our listening audience, that we're able to continue to do these podcasts. With you guys sponsoring and supporting, we're able to be in our 40th episode already. Wow, amazing. I guess on the 40th, I just really want to talk about support, right? Supporting one another, supporting our friends, supporting our spouses, supporting our children, just supporting one another in general. I like to shout out my queen, La Morena, for the braids. Yeah. They've been on for a while. Actually, I'm about to take them off. So I said, let me do this last podcast with them. Those that are listening through Anchor FM, you can go to the YouTube at Healing Queens and see the braids and check out the braids. Thank you to all those supporters. Again, I got to continue to, shout them out. Supporters, the sponsors. I appreciate you guys listening and sharing and letting people know about, the stuff that we put out there, the amazing people that I get to do. I don't like to call them interviews, more conversations. I get to conversate with them about, different topics and topics that are meaningful to our queens. So thank you for allowing me to just host this podcast. And, I'm appreciative, and I don't take that for granted that I'm able to do it. Thank you. Big shout out to Spivey that edits all these videos. Shout out to Spivey. EagleMind. Shout out to EagleMind. That's how, she goes by EagleMind editing. And all the amazing queens that step up and just call me and we talk about topics and conversations. So the other day I was just having a conversation about support. I was texting a couple of close friends of mine. So if you got the text, know that you were close enough for me to have your number on my phone. And I threw not a massive text, because I did everybody individual, and so I have different relationships with different people. But they say a closed mouth don't get fed. And right now, I'm all about raising funds, as much funds as we can, for Healing Queens Inc., which is a nonprofit organization that I'm a president of. We're out there helping women in our communities in all type of different ways, especially after this COVID. There's a lot of women that are their PTSD and their stress and their anxieties are kicking up. But what we found out, that it's not only the women. There's a lot of men, there's a lot of kings that are going through the same thing. So, we started a new program, which is Healing Kings. And we're starting to talk to a lot of the men. A lot of the men are actually in the process of healing, and Healing Queens has partnered up with that. So it's amazing that not only are we here, of course, in support that the women begin their healing journey, as we all know how important that is, but if we're not supporting the men either, we're kind of halfway, right? Because these men got to get some healing too. It can't be just the women all healed and all great, feeling great about life, and these men are still suffering and are still battling and fighting some real serious demons. We're losing our men every day. We're losing our kings. We're just losing them. If it's not to prison, we're losing them to drugs. We're losing them to insanity. To mental health is a serious thing, men or women. So today I want to just stress about support, support your local programs, your local community programs that are in your neighborhoods, that is in your borough, in your county, support them. If they're supporting other people, support them. And I don't mean every time, because listen, it's happened to me. Every time, there's a GoFundMe going around, let me, go fund them. Unless it's a legitimate GoFundMe, right? Then yeah. But I'm talking about supporting people that support others. Not that you're supporting them because you're buying their book and their t-shirt and their magazine and their product necessarily, but support those that with that money that they get, that they really are supporting others, that they're feeding other people, that they're planting seed with that money, that they're doing amazing things that are affecting other people. So support somebody, and it's not always only monetary. Now, you can support somebody by texting them, by calling them, by just asking them how they're doing, how their day went, that you have a conversation with them, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, that you reach out to them and you ask them how they're doing. Supporting by texting, by calling, sending an email out, a reminder, hey, a picture from Throwback Thursday or Memory Monday or, Flashback Fridays, that you send them a picture, is the smallest thing that counts for people, especially when they're in the middle of fighting for their lives, when they're battling with depression and anxiety and PTSD, or they're in a domestic violence situation and they don't want to speak up and they think that people don't see it and don't notice, but they're in it. And when you're in it, your cries for help sometimes just fall by the wayside. Support these organizations, and not just Healing Queens, but support the organizations that really are making a difference, that are really helping, that are empowering, that are motivating, that are supporting, that are doing, again, great things. Don't be afraid to support. You spend money on buying coffee that costs $10, and one day we can spend money on we'll go to CVS and just, we're going to buy a mascara that costs us like $15, when instead we can use that money to pour into other people. I get it. Not everybody is an advocate. Not everybody's meant to, be out there and help people and feed the homeless and, and do all these things. I get it. Sometimes people that's not their mission. That's not their purpose. And it's okay. But guess what, y'all? There's people out there that are doing the work. Support them. Help them. Contribute to the cause and the mission. Kingdom business is definitely not free. It's just not. There's always some cost of everything. Even when we're out there, feeding the homeless, we got to buy the bags to put the stuff in. Even if the things were donated, we still got, costs. We still got costs. Support organizations that are doing great things. And shout out to you if you're one of those organizations. Shout out to you if you're just an individual that's out there doing stuff, doing kingdom business. Shout out to you for being out there and doing the work. I see you. most of the time I support you, whether it be praying for you, whether it be, contributing to what you're trying to raise. I see you. I thank you. Thank you for, stepping in and being, that advocate, being that voice for the voiceless. It's a lot of people that are voiceless because they're in so much pain they can't even speak. But then there's people, amazing people that are out there just standing in the gap for them. And I thank you for that. I thank you because sometimes you may not be seen. Sometimes you don't get thanked, and not that we do it right for no accolades, or we don't do it for anybody to thank us. Some of us know our purpose, our mission, and we just out there doing it. But for those that are just sitting back and wondering and thinking, man, I want to do something. I wish I could do something. There's a lot of work out there. There's a lot of work, There's a lot of work. But who's going to be out there working? Workers are few. The work is out there, but the workers are few. So I ask you to, join, help, volunteer. Volunteer your time, volunteer your funds, volunteer your testimony, your story. Go out there and support somebody else today. Make a difference. We all have the power to make a difference. So peace and love. Thank you, everybody. Again, that been contributing that 99 cents a month, or that $4.99, or that $99.99. I see you, girl. Thank you. Thank you, sister. Thank you, sister friend. And thank you, Helen, for that contribution that you made for Hit the Block. It was amazing. 2 boxes of nothing but, body soap and stuff like that. Thank you to all the other contributions that we've been getting as well. I see you, Queenz. Thank you for the support. But the continuing support is what I'm looking for. So please, even if you listen through, wherever you listen through, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, YouTube, wherever you catch the podcast on. Anchor FM is one of my sponsors. So if you go through Anchor FM and you support the podcast there, the money does come to Healing Queenz. Spotify and everybody else is not really sponsoring us, although you can hear the podcast through there. And we appreciate that. We're very appreciative on whatever platform Healing Queenz gets on. We appreciate it. But there's a couple of people that were like, oh, I listen through Spotify, I listen through, Google Podcasts, and thank you. It's amazing. We love it. But Anchor FM is a main sponsor. So every time that one of these shows are listened to, we do get some sponsorship money that goes back again to everything that we're trying to do. So thank you for the support. Those that are already supporting, those that are thinking about it, those that are waiting, even if you don't support Healing Queenz, go support somebody that's supporting somebody else. If you ain't out there doing nothing, then support those that are supporting others. And I leave you with that. Continue to support. I thank you. I love you. God bless you. Stay amazing. Don't be selfish. Support somebody today. Even if you have $2, support somebody with $1. Watch how God is going to multiply that for you if you're doing it with a good heart. So until next time, peace.